This sonic art safari was about the careful craft of composition made up of primarily one beast, bass. The bass sonics placed at the bottom of the audio spectrum were hunted by very few humans or very few artisans of sound and musicians, bar a feral few. The intrigue lay in the way bass frequencies resonated through the body, the way that vibrations could be felt on the body, the fact that they are inclusive regardless of hearing status, and the way that bass frequencies seemingly dictate a reaction when auditioned or experienced. And when referenced, there is always a smile on the recipient's face. To compose purely with bass is a unique and original approach to music, and the interdisciplinary nature of imponderable sound enhances originality. The deep drone of the low bass is coherently composed to connect and caress all it discovers along its trajectory, may it be matter, molecule, figure or thought, and when it is received, the physicality of bass sound serves as focus for our body to listen, react and reinvent itself as a result. Because of this, it was important to find out which bass frequencies could be used as an implicit intervention to disrupt the norms of performers and musicians, and what best techniques to test and produce this intervention in a routine rehearsal. The use of untuned bass guitars, feeding back to the presence of musicians responding to the bass, tumultuous techniques reinvented, precarious percussive, glaring glissandi and vocal vibrato. At each phase and stage of the diagnostic project, additional elements of energized devising were introduced to form part of the whole. The aesthetic and the importance of projection on performers and performance space, which became integral to the visual, the structure and resultant composition. The involvement of audience, sometimes subtle, sometimes essential, introduced the amateur voice alongside the professional, and the bass and space became an environment to connect and play. Imponderable sound became a verb, to imponderable sound, to sabusai, a new word coined to describe the action of doing to bass vibration. From stimulus, the slow transition from static slow gestures to variable movement, from installation to true life performance, all elements amalgamated for recomposition. How the individual became prominent as bodies meandered and responded respectfully to the stream of bass. They lived the lived experience. The body comes into play as an imperative method to communicate with and interpret from, to build the banks upon which imponderable sound advances. Is it all about the bass? Prior to the imponderable sound life journey that I have just embarked upon, I would have answered yes to this question. However, through much contemplation about this word, I have arrived at the current conclusion that it is much more than that. Imponderable sound is all about connection. How I, as a sonic artist, have an inadvertent need to connect. It is true, with each macroscopic and microscopic gesture we make, we cause other microbes, molecules, and minutiae to move. We connect without comprehension. Imponderable sound connects with comprehension and does this because of the energizing employ of low bass frequency.